Greetings everyone and welcome back to Mech Engineer. I am home after an extremely good holiday, lots of rest and relaxation, though I haven't completely unpacked yet. It's the same curse as when you move house. It takes you much longer than you think it's going to get everything out of the boxes, or in this case, out of my suitcase. Nevertheless, we're going to be jumping in. I do want to give a forward as I haven't had enough time yet to go back through the previous episodes and compile all of the comments, so we're just going to jump into this one and just get on with things so I can get moving, and then the next episode we will probably do a deep dive on the comments and probably do a load of reconfiguring of mechs, so on and so forth. But one of the things that I wanted to point out here, because I was in such a rush, I didn't really address this, so it was kind of itching at the back of my mind in the last episode I recorded. We now know that there has to be a nest here because that's where the Titan emerged from. But, and I was initially thinking, oh, I'm just going to use my nuke on that. However, there's no point, not yet. Because these Titans are going to be making a beeline for it. And if for some reason the way this one meanders around causes them to walk over this tile, they'll simply reinfect it. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until these Titans have caught up to this and devoured it, and then I can drop a nuke on this spot in particular. Also, we're going to have a lot of other Titans popping up probably over the next couple of days, so we're going to keep that nuke in reserve for the time being. But it is high time for us to go ahead and pass the day. What are we looking forward to? We're going to get a nuke, and we're going to unlock two new pretty important, one very important research, and that is, I believe, the upgraded shield module. The flamethrower, or the flammables, not as interested in, I must confess, but it's still going to be interesting all the same. Right, food supply, we're doing relatively well. You know, it's not as good as it could be. The city damage is really slowed down at this point, and overall we've got an efficiency of 73%, so not too bad. Let's have a... Oh, we've increased that, actually. Very happy about this. Consumer goods doing good. Food supply doing good. City damage also relatively good, all things said and done. Okay, well, let's have a look down here and see what there is to see. Now, as I'd mentioned, I want to... I want to finish off the medical compartment here up to its maximum level before we move on to... working on the ammo. However, this will take an awful lot of time. An awful lot of time upgrading this. But, well, I mean, this would give us access to a lot of research. It's just, I don't think we need this. If you were going to go for this, and I've explained in previous episodes why I didn't make this a priority despite knowing what it would do, because it felt like it would skip too much of the game, and skip too much of an opportunity for me to learn how to use the basic kind of foundational tools before getting up to the power tools and then the atomic tools and so on and so forth. But if you were going to get this feels like something you should prioritize really, really early on to get the most bang for buck. So I'm going to say that this is as far as we're taking the medical compartment 3 for now. And instead, we're going to switch over to the ammo factory. I would very, very much like the ammo factory to be complete. If we upgrade this first, though, then we can just beeline straight through the ammo factory for a little while. And we'll get immediate returns on the ammo factory, so we may as well go for upgrading this one right now. I don't think this is one that needs to be fully upgraded before you get anything back out of it. I think you start getting things with every single upgrade, so it makes sense for us to go for this one. Right, there we go. Let's pop that in. Affects the ammo for sending mechs into battle. And just a recap down here, we just got 200 engineers back in available and 130 scientists back and available, so that's going to be quite nice. Now then, as for missions today, let's have a look at where we need to be. We want to kind of make a beeline straight down here if we are able. Let's have a look at resources, see if there's anything of particular interest. We've got Skalaknit over there, we've got Bjorn down here that we can definitely have a look at. This one, we have to clear this because we are heading in that direction. 11 nests, mind you, which isn't the best. It's also Millis over here. Only 8 nests there, though. We could clear this one out for more Bjorn. 8 nests there as well. This one is a less attractive map, honestly, than this one. I would say this one looks like it might be a lot easier for us to get through. So I'm probably going to take this one on and this one. We might start splitting up our lances a little bit more. I will confess we may want to start looking to mix these up a little bit and possibly send out 3 missions a day. But for now, certainly on missions where I'm dealing with Millis, I'd rather have the full block. I mean, realistically, if I just send out a single lance, so 4 mechs, I could run 4 missions daily. But the only real benefit to doing that is gaining more resources and pilot levels. Now, the pilot levels, I would say that is worth it. The resources, really not a concern for us. I'd be much more inclined to do it if I wanted, if we were hurting for resources, because you know, our pilots are getting all of the levels that they can get right now, since we're fielding all of them at the same time. We're fielding 16 people a turn, whether we're splitting that across 4 missions or we're splitting that across 2 missions. The only place where that would really start to help us out, though, is if we started to have... I was sure there was someone who had... Wasn't it showing me someone who could upgrade their... how bizarre. I could have sworn out of the corner of my eye saw someone who had a level up pending, but they didn't. But once we've got enough to field, like maybe we're talking about 20 pilots in total, then we'll actually be able to start, you know, making good on getting some extra experience outside of, you know, perhaps just like hitting nests which have just a single Brucus or something like that. But either way, I think the first mission of today is going to be down here. This is the ugliest of the 2 nests that we're going to be striking today. So give me just a few moments to prep all of our mechs, and we will start the day's missions. Okay then, as usual, we're going to have Mini Murgle piloting the Nicola, going for the Millis. Mr. Pink, piloted by Tubman, also going to be targeting Millis. Following that, we're going to have Frostfire and Frostfire and Marshmallow going for Ares. We'll also have Mr. Brown, possibly? Yeah, Mr. Brown going for Ares as well. Finally, we will have Shepard also going for Ares, and then last but not least, have Mr. Blue targeting the Nest as a priority and Digrig targeting the Operarius. I think that should be fine. Well, actually, you know what? No. Let's have Shepard also target the Operarius and Mr. Blue target the Nest. I think that'll be a better distribution there. Right, let's get into the fight. I really probably should think about putting Marshmallow and Digrig together. Well, that took a very long time to load in there. Hopefully that isn't indicative of something going wrong. Now, we're going to want to have a good firing area down here, so I'm going to tell you to go there, and then I'm going to tell everyone else to stop, and I'm going to just have the Digrig rush down and then rush back. As quick as you like, please, and indeed, thank you. Go, go, go. Drill through all of this. Oh, that wasn't the best drill there, I must confess, but okay. Let's actually have you do that again. Let's just remove that so that we can have everyone in a good point to fire. Now, if we have a look down here, we've got... Who are the first 2? Mr. Pink and Nicola are the first 2. And that's actually probably going to be very useful for us in general, I'm going to say. Nicola, I want you up there, and Mr. Pink, I would like you definitely about there. This should give you plenty of positions then to engage. There we go. You can just clear everything out for me. And you can continue attacking for a little while, which is going to let you carve a route to all of these Operarius over there. Thank you. Oh, goodness, that was way too close. Wow, that is unfortunate. All right, let's watch all of your cockpits get repaired. Encrypt's cockpit is okay. I don't actually think anyone lost any oxygen. No, ultimately not. All right, well, that wasn't as ideal as I would have liked it to have been, but oh well. Go ahead and move down to here. You'll get plenty of opportunity then to engage. We should see the BFGs just destroying everything around this area, and that's exactly what we want. And you can carry on marching then. This should be fine. Now, I have been considering bringing out the Shellcracker again, but right now we've got an 8 mech deployment that is perfectly serviceable. So I'm not in a great rush to have the Shellcracker come back out to us. But I mean, the Shellcracker is definitely able to handle water maps. Or I say definitely. There's a lot of theorizing in the comments that the reason why the Shellcracker can't target on land is because they've got the torpedo auxiliary equipped. That would make sense, except that it looks like the other rocket equipped mechs are okay for targeting on land. But I haven't really had a lot of opportunity to see that. I've only had a couple of times when I've actually been able to observe that. And it could easily be the case that I've mistaken them targeting for just lucky shots. Or in the case of the BFGs, which are explosive guided ammo, they kind of curve in a different way. It might be something else causing them to be able to target for what appears to be accurately. So I think there is some more experimentation due to be done. I'm just going to wait for the Brucus to poke its little face out over here, and then hopefully we can just explode that. There we go. Perfect. Right, and then we can march forward. Got one more Brucus about to say hello down here, which well, I would like to try and deal with, but let's see. I mean, you're going to make your way down here relatively quickly, so I could just position the lance down here ready. Let's just have you in position there. Let them poke their face out. And then I could even have the dig rig just kind of cut over here a little bit, allow this to target the dig rig, and then just back out with the dig rig. That way, this will make a path, and then we'll start getting Operarius spawning through there, and very quickly we will completely obliterate and dig a much bigger path thanks to the BFGs. I think that's a pretty solid plan, actually. Right, so let's have you about here. That'll do. Once again, we know where the which mechs have got the BFG, so that'll be Mr. Pink there. This will be Nicola over here, and then we're going to have Dig Rig just go ahead and start digging up and then digging back. We'll keep a fairly tight corridor for now, and hopefully this will do... Oh, apparently no. Would you like to go up there, Dig Rig, and then back down? Okay, maybe it was that it was too narrow of a path. Oh. Yeah, I can tell you exactly what it is right now. It is that it's too narrow of a path. The place I'm telling Dig Rig to finish, Dig Rig is already at. Oh, wait, have I not... Oh, my bad. I hadn't selected Dig Rig. Well, this is another reason why it would be perhaps quite useful for me to go for Dig Rig and have Dig Rig and Marshmallow always the last ones on the list, because then I'll have 8 and 7 ready for handling this. Now, all I want you to do is catch the attention of the Columbra. There we are, and now you can start leaving. Let's go this way. Keep on coming. That's right. It's almost finished digging through there now. Let's pause things down, do another bit of a dig, another bit of a run. We'll probably bring you back a lot sooner than this, because as soon as you're through there, or at least you should be, is there something particularly rough there that you can't dig through? It might just be that it can see that that is a single tile and it was trying to dig through on a diagonal. There we go, that's exactly what we wanted. We'll allow the Operarius to come through here, and then the BFGs to just tunnel through and kill the Columbra from that point. That will do perfectly. Okay, using the enemy's numbers against them with this one. It was a little bit of fumbling around there trying to get the digging to work, but, you know, well, it's not too bad. And the Mr. Blue can easily see the Columbra, so we'll probably just unalive that fairly quickly. There we go. Some of the BFG shots getting through there now. Perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Now, these nests are actually going to take a little bit longer. Possibly. The BFG shots can sometimes curve and will, yeah, just as we saw there, end up taking those out anyway. So we just want a couple more to do that, and they'll pull the nest into their own blast range. Though at this point we could just march up there, but why take any extra risks when we absolutely don't need to? We already took some damage early on thanks to an unfortunate misfiring of the BFG, but I'm still going to say, despite the staggeringly larger power of the BFG, it is safer than us running with the large missile. And that is kind of bonkers to me. The large missile was more dangerous than the BFG, or certainly resulted in far more damage to our own mechs. Right, there we go. Let's have a quick look. 5.88 seconds spent disobeying. I guess I can let you off on that one. Right, okay, well, that's fine. Let's go ahead and click that through. Now, actually, thinking about it, There's at least one mech. Oh, yeah, the Mr. Blue. Oh, thank goodness. I did put Raven there, who didn't have the drone skill. I was worried for a second there, because I remembered that I put Oak on the Marshmallow. Right, okay, well, that was a fairly solid little engagement there. Nothing too much that we need to worry about. Everything is clear around here. We know that these two tiles now have got nothing in them. And in fact, this tile has got nothing in it, so that means there must be a nest right there. Now, that doesn't speak to where the nest is over here, though. Ooh, actually, that's a good point. That one has got a nest, so this one has to have a nest, and it can't... Well, I suppose it could technically have a nest here, since this one can see two nests. Yeah. Well, actually, ooh. Now, that's interesting. We've marked a... Oh, it's because I've not seen that tile. Never mind. Never mind. I was thinking, well, since there's no number there can't be a nest there. But no, I've never seen that tile, so that's why we don't know. So there is a possibility that there's another nest over here. Depends on what number we uncover on this position, because this is the one that we're going to next. And once again, we just need to get everyone ready, so give me just a second. Okay, obviously we're going to have Phoenix Talia going out, but because Phoenix doesn't have a BFG, and so extreme long-range damage, I would like Phoenix to go for the Ares, especially because they have energy weapons, and I'll do quite well against the Ares. Piccolo is piloting the Nicola for this mission, and Russell is piloting the Mr. Pink. We will then also have Marshmallow taking on some more Ares. Down here we will have... Sure, we'll go with Mr. Brown taking on another Ares, but at this point Mr. Blue is going to be focusing on nests, and then Shepard, and finally Digrig, piloted by Isham, will be taking on Operarius. Alright, now this one is probably going to be a much easier cave layout for us to take on, as we've seen before, and we're starting to get to the point now. Wow, the slowdown going on right now. I wonder if there's been a big update or something that is causing that. But we have... Ooh, we've got an enemy down there. Now that's going to be a bit of a tricky one. I'm immediately going to have... Actually, it's going to be 2 and 3. You're going to move back. I would like the Frostfire to reposition there. And then, ultimately, I want the dig rig to go all the way through here. Just clear all of this out. Hopefully, by the time you've done that, they will have finished... nuking this nest. I should imagine that's going to be the case, but let's have a watch of this. There we go, that nest is gone, and all we want now is to clear up this path. There we go, and you can head back up. I would like you two down here, you right there. Let's get everyone repositioned so that we can make sure that the right weapons are in the best places. Oop, I knew that was going to come. We weren't quite out of the way in time. That is a shame. Okay, let's have a quick look. How much damage have you taken there, Russell? Oh, not... Oh, sorry, it was Rizel. No, in fact, it was Regery. My bad. Regery is very, very stressed. Yeah, you are a slow-moving mech right now. We had very low stability there. But stress has gone back down. Okay. That apparently, no. We were a little bit fast on saying that the stress was gone. But... things are doing a little bit better. Now, I'm trying to experiment with very specific microing and positioning of the mechs. But so far, I have not noticed that this has been better for us. Now, on paper, it should be. But in reality, it hasn't appeared to be yet. Now, let's just pop all of these Operarius. The BFGs will easily take them out. The beautiful thing about the BFGs is when they're aiming at something else further away, the attraction will pull the Operarius that the BFG's main projectile is passing by and kind of drag it along with the Tesla effect. So it's getting double melted, which is particularly appreciated. Right, there we go. Everything has been popped down there. Are there more nests around? Yeah, there are kind of more nests around here, honestly. Alright, well, let's get into position up here. And then we are going to... Okay, now that actually worked quite well. They are spawning, so at this point we can just wait. There is no reason to do anything more than this. The BFGs are going to gradually dig all of this apart. My initial intent was to have everyone stand up there and then have the dig rig just dig down once again and allow the Columbra to help excavating a path. But honestly, if we are just patient enough, this will all go nice and easy. I would love it if you could manually control the time controls. The game will switch over to speed up mode faster. Or rather, it will switch to speed up mode if there's no combat for a certain period of time. But the problem with that is that with this, we're under no threat. We're just being patient about taking our time. Or practically, we're being lazy. But it would be wonderful if I could have the ability to toggle on double speed for moments like this. But oh well. Right, with that all done, we can now basically just march forward. All of the shots from Mr. Blue, happily disabling the Columbra. And now we can go ahead and wrap this mission up without too much concern. Now, one of the things that I intend to do for the next episode is, first and foremost, I'm going to go through all the comments, find the best suggestions for names. I've already espied one or two when I was cheekily checking from my phone while I was on holiday, before I reminded myself, no, you're meant to be disconnecting. Then I put the phone away. Well, look, okay, I might not have a lot of willpower, but I do have some. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I think it's time for us to do a complete, top-down reassessment of the weapon systems of our mechs. I would very much like to go through and kind of redesign the loadout here. But that's going to be a lot of work, so I might just do that off camera. And then just bring you back and explain what I've done. Because for all intents and purposes, that's exactly what I would do off camera. Realistically, I would just be doing that. Now then, this is an interesting one. This would work. This needs to see 2. This needs to see 2. If I pop the nest there, this can see everything it needs to see. This can see... But let's just have a look at this. This can already see 1 nest, so there's nothing around there. This can see no nest, so there's nothing around here. This can already see its 4 nests, so there's nothing around there. So that is the only place that one could possibly see a nest. So everything seems okay. It's really funneling us down. It's like a little corridor going through here. Granted, I have nuked once or twice, but we're seeing another Titan launching over there. That's it's not the best. I'm not going to lie. It's not the best. Again, I'm not going to launch nukes yet. But I'm going to mark these locations as nests. And then I can make a decision in the future. I think that's the right way to go. But now that we've done all of that, let's go ahead and get hospital and training on the go. But honestly, I think we will be in a position where I might be able to win the game without ever having to tangle with the Titans. I've already seen some people expressing a desire to see a Titan fight. And I'm not against doing it, so let me know in the comments even if it's not necessary, whether we throw ourselves at a Titan fight before we wrap things up. I'm kind of leaning towards it myself personally, but there is that little voice in the back of my head saying, that's exactly what hubris wants you to think, and it's right. I am the reason that I lose most games that I lose. It's got nothing to do with the game, throwing curveballs or being particularly difficult. It's me being overconfident is what gets me killed in games. So I am very weary of we, from all intents and purposes, would literally given this victory on a silver platter based on how the Titans originally spawned and the proximity of the pings together. Granted, the red one was well out of our reach, but. Yeah, it would feel particularly bad if I then just threw that away. So do let me know in the comments if you have an opinion on that one. Let's have a look at reactions. Encrypt does need a bit more. But so does Rizal, and Rizal would also benefit from the CBS training. So let's pop you in there, Rizal. There you go. Right then, and next up on the list is research and production. Well, first research. So... we have got the energy shield unlocked, so that means it's something that we're going to be looking at relatively soon. We've got 160 scientists to deploy. We can easily put 50 of them back on here with 110 in reserve. What do we got down here? Toxin sprayer. Create a formula of highly active mixtures that reacts and decomposes most organic... Oh, I thought there was going to be literal, designed for use against the aliens. But I guess, the aliens are organic, so it is technically true. But I was thinking that they'd researched from alien bits kind of things. But, okay. Sure, we'll lock that one in as well. Still not going to go for these, because they sound a little bit too AI has your best interests in mind and has decided that you are the biggest threat to yourselves, so I'm just going to turn you all into cyborgs for the greater good kind of vibes, and I'm not sure that's where this particular playthrough should be going. Nevertheless, we've got a nuke available. There is a part of me that wants to make another one, but there is an even bigger part of me that wants to get another reactor. So, with that said and done, we're going to lock that in. Let's go ahead and get a new reactor, and maybe we'll be able to use the hollow before we get out of here, out of the water tiles. It kind of feels silly not to have used it at least once. 3 days to get that going. In that time, I will have had almost enough time to get all of the reactor components going. There is a good chance that we'll still at least have 1 or 2 water missions to roll with, so we'll see how that goes. But we do now have a new flame weapon to play with as well. So, you know what, before we do anything else, let's just go and have a quick look at this. How does this even look? That is not what I was expecting. Oh, so it's... okay, it's a pulse flame. Not the stream of flammable... liquids that I was expecting, but sure, we can go with that. Let's have a look at the overall characteristics, though. Flamethrower spreads fire mixture at a short range, creates fire areas. So no different from a regular flamer then. But let's have a look. Accelerated. Oh, good lord. Okay, now it's a very long range. All right. I kind of like it, but it is actually going through. It's got no armor penetration, so does it only cause flames when it lands? Because that wouldn't be the greatest, I'm going to be honest. This one actually manages to spray it much further. We've got the shotgun. Oh, I kind of like that one. That's giving a nice spread of flames at the extent of its reach. How on earth would this work? Is this slowing fire? Or is it only the projectile that slows? I'm going to say it's probably the projectile that slows, which is a shame. Double fire. No, that's the least useful thing ever. Shards. Nope, that also doesn't really do anything. Okay. But critical. Does this get large? It does sort of get larger areas. What if we went to... Yeah, no, we just go straight through them. This is an interesting weapon. With this sort of thing, getting extra damage will help. Will we get more damage using this? No. So it can't get extra damage from that. And in water, I can... Oh my lord, it's even worse. Well, I mean, obviously. But this one's a bit of a tricky one. I'm not really sure. Because it's not causing fire on the things it hits. But it does have a great potential for rate of fire, I will say. Like, that is ridiculous. And we would also be able to have something like the firing whilst reloading, so it never stops firing. But then also, by the same token, probably never stops reloading either, which, you know, comes with its own problems in terms of heat generation. I don't see this working, really. It has no armor strip to speak of, because it's only doing flame. And without armor strip. Oh, interesting. Oh, is it? Oh, it actually is doing damage. The projectile is doing damage, and then it creates a fire area. Ah, interesting. Now this is going to start jumping up. Okay. But if we switched it to just this with, let's say, 9 armor. Okay. I still don't see much of a use for this weapon. Of all of the weapons we've seen so far, I mean, I will say that some weapons I don't see much of a use just because they're very dangerous. And, like, you know, missile launcher is a case in point there. But this flamer weapon? Yeah, I'm not sure how we would use that one. Not sure how we could find a way to use it. Let me know in the comments if you've had any experience with them and have found some really, really good niche that they fill. Or if, like me, you're a little scratching your head. Like, this feels very underwhelming. Maybe on a very hot environment. Well, no, because the aliens seem to be perfectly suited to the environment that you encounter them in. So even that doesn't sound like it would work out too well for us. Bit of a tricky one. All right, we've done our missions for the day. All that remains now, almost forgot actually, is to set up strategic movement, which means, of course, we are moving ever closer to this beautiful, beautiful rocket part over there. Gonna have to keep a close eye on the Titans as they wander around. I'm glad to have shut that one down, but it looks like, yeah, we're gonna start seeing more and more Titans popping up. That's unless they can get over to them super quick, this is going to become a mess. An absolute mess. But we don't really need to do much. In fact, well, I mean, one of the things we could do, we could just go grab this and then backtrack and then head over there. That is an option. Or we can just grab all these cities because we want to. Either way, let's go ahead and pass the day. You're going to get a 2-day episode today, it looks like. Or maybe even a 3-day. We'll see how it goes. But first thing we need to do is get hold of the components, which we're just about to run out of, and some new research. There we go. No efficiency increase today. Food supply dropped a little bit, sadly. 50 humans got out of the hospital wards. We've only got 1,500 humans in hospital right now. 84.85. I think we went up by 0.05 today, but we are getting there. We're closing in. I do feel that it is slowing down every single day. Right, let's go ahead and upgrade the ammo factory once again. There we go. Nice and easy. Now, let's have a look around here. First and foremost, any good resource locations? Well, no, not really. I mean, we've got the Bjorn over here, and actually, that's quite a nice one. It's only got... ooh, there is a potential here. The Millis down there is still a problem, and we got Millis here. If we got anywhere else that doesn't have Millis that I wouldn't mind hitting... everywhere we want to go. Why? This is most vexing, I must confess. But I guess I could afford to send... There's only 5 nests here. I could afford to send 2 mechs out to this one and just field a few less on the others. Yeah. Let's start off with just a little attack going down here. We will take Marshmallow because Marshmallow does have digging ability. And we will also take... Well, if I take Mr. Pink, that means I'm not going to have Mr. Pink for both of these missions, but I could just go for this one, which has more nests. And this one could be sans Mr. Pink. But that is putting quite a lot of... a very dangerous firepower on this mission. Nevertheless, I think Marshmallow and Mr. Pink are going to go out on... they're going to have a little adventure down here. So give me just a few seconds to pick which pilots are going to be going on this one. We're also not going to have a squad leader. I kind of feel like I need to train up a third. Rizal. And do we also have... Is Rizal the only one now that doesn't have... No, Rizal and Oak. Yeah, I think one of you is going to be trained up as a tertiary squad leader. Anyway, give me just a few seconds. Okay, we're ready to go, and I actually decided in the end, well, I may as well take both Rizal and Oak on this mission. Rizal will be focusing on the Flagella. We're also going to be having Mr. Pink focusing on... Bicklow and Mr. Pink focusing on those, and Oak in the Shepherd is going to be focusing on the nests, just to clear those out a little bit faster. But I don't anticipate too much trouble here. Rizal, so number 1 position is going to be our Digger. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully, we're fairly confident, I'm going to say. We're stacking the odds heavily in our favor, but this should be fine overall. Right, now let's have a quick gander. Very much don't like this. Really don't like this, in fact. So Bicklow, turning off your weapon until you're in position, which is going to be right here. Rizal, I'm going to have you just cut those out. And finally, we're going to have Shepard just move into position over to the side there. That should work, I think. Right. Oh, why did you fire there? I really did tell you not to. I think they may have already activated that before I was in a position to take care of it. Is this not getting fixed? Oh, that took way too long. Really just did not approve of that. All right. Lacking the double speed drones. Yeah, I was a bit worried, not going to lie. That one scared me a bit. All right. At this point, everything else is going to be melted without much trouble for us. We can hang tight and just allow people to move down there. In fact, I'm going to move people individually at this point. Let's get Shepard down here. We're going to move Rizel over there. We're going to move Bicklow down here. I alternate between using the name of the mech and using the name of the pilot. I don't know what that says about me, but we've only got one nest down there that we need to worry about, and that shouldn't be a concern. Let's just continue moving forward, but let's try and stay somewhat central to this corridor. And that way we shouldn't be at risk of getting melted. Not by the BFG anyway. There we go. Oh my lord. I'm so used to how fast the BFG pops things that anything else just feels glacial. Right, could we get a couple of shots up in that direction, please? Sometimes helpful to position your cursor to force your mechs to aim a certain way. Right, for this maneuver, I'm going to want people to get... Actually, for this maneuver, I'm going to want them to get over there. But I'm going to have Rizel specifically just make a beeline down here and try and dig all of that away and then get back up. There we go. Move, move, move. We may see enemies start spawning straight away. I can't quite tell whether they spawn based on distance to the target or as the crow flies, or like the pathing distance. I'm not entirely certain yet. Right, Rizel, you shift back. Bicklow, you kind of stick there. Let's position you all very intently. Let's make sure the Bicklow's weapon system is active. You're not going to go for the Operarius straight away. Not until they get relatively close, and I'm okay with that. There's a very narrow band where we use the BFG on Operarius. Otherwise, we rely on the Special Infected, which is a little bit of the reason why I'm not too sad about the fact that we're going to have lots of Special Infected moving forward. Because it's always going to give something for my BFG pilots to aim at. Like, this flagellum will immediately launch as soon as Bicklow can see it. But when there's just Operarius, they wait until they're about there before we engage. What I would like you to do is just cleave open this path for us a little bit. In fact, Shepard, go ahead and shimmy down there for me. Same with the Marshmallow. And finally, same with Bicklow. There we go. It's amazing watching the Shepard do their job. They're very, very good at what they do. Very, very good. Like, let's get out of the Shepard's way. The Shepard is Oh, it's because, unfortunately, I had both the Shepard and the Mr. Pink selected. I do kind of wish that this wasn't a toggle, but I can't see the way I play this being a toggle is a pain, but I can't see an easier way of doing it, because I don't think we can easily just like drag a border around this. I discovered this was made in Game Maker of all things. I'm very impressed, I must say. But it does answer a few questions on how easy it would be to implement the little quality of life changes, like just being able to drag and drop over just the header of the pilot. There we go. That was a nice little fight there. You know what? You're going to get a medal for leading the squad there. Bicklow for a minimum of blowing us up, and Oak as well. Well done. That was a good little fight there. I am very pleased with you. Right, let's get everyone else ready for the next battle then. All right then. Well, completing the previous mission has in fact given us the option to immediately take this clue, so I don't see any reason to go anywhere. Other than that, we're going to just barrel straight forward and try and take this as quickly as we're able to, and then we'll have a clear route of advance. But for this first mission. Phoenix is coming out in the Frostfire, followed by Soundsphere in the Nicola, and where are you? Winterblade and Mr. Plank, who are both going to be going for the Millis. The other thing, while I can't show you easily just now, this doesn't have Millis, so I don't need to worry about the Mr. Pink not being available for this mission. I am very, very pleased, but I'm going to keep Shepard in reserve for it. That way we're sending out to 7 strong, so reinforced lances. We'll have Marshmallow also focusing on the Ares. Then finally, I want Mr. Blue focusing on the Nest, Mr. Brown, and last but certainly not least, Digrig with Encrypt focusing on Operarius. Alright, let's get out there and see what we can do. Now this map isn't too troublesome. It's got a fair few nests, but the map itself, it looks okay. It is taking an age to load into the maps at the moment, and I'm not really sure why. Has that changed? Now, thank heavens, we're in a good position right now because we can shut down Mr. Pink and Nicola's weapon straight away. And then we're going to move the whole group down to here. You're all going to get down there. However, one person in particular is immediately going to go up and just scrub this little area and then get back down here. I want to make sure that... Let's just disable that, make sure that they are in fact disabled. No, they're not, because I'm used to pressing 8, not 7 now. Want to make sure that the Nicola is here and that Mr. Brown is there. Mr. Pink, sorry. Right, let's have a watch how this goes. Get up there, clear this out, please. Thank you. There we go, perfect. Now get back, and once you're back, we are reactivating the BFGs. There we go. Let's buy those numbers, please. Don't want any friendly fire incidents. No blue on blue, or red on red, or white on white. I don't care. Just no damaging us, please and thank you. Now then, I've got a number of Operaris over there. I don't think we're going to have too... Well, unfortunately, all the Brukers are moving away from this, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. With that done, I'm going to say we can now start moving forward. Let's get up to about here. The whole group, let's just move up there. None of the nests are active. We do have one nest. I'm fairly certain that the algorithm that spawns a nest always makes sure there's at least one near the Columbra, which kind of makes sense in a way. Have some backup there at all times. Right, what I would very much like to see is... There we go. Perfect. They're going to dig their way through here, which means we're going to tunnel our way through there, which is perfect for us, without me having to do any work for it. Though, if we scooch up, I'll tunnel a much better route, I feel. Also, we'll get an opportunity to pop the Brook. The BFG makes hunting Brookers really... It feels like cheating, frankly. The Brooker's like, no, let me go. And it's like, no, you're coming with me. There we go. Now, that Brookers may have an opportunity to pop... No, it did not get a chance to deploy its turrets, which I am pleased with. Right, there we go. Just popping everything. All of the specialist aliens are summoning the BFG shots, which is perfect. And there go all of the nests. All right. Now, that actually scares me. I'm not going to lie. That legitimately worries me. And they still haven't gotten rid of it. So, well, while we wait for that Brucus to show up, I'm going to have Digrig just get down here. And never mind. It has been resolved. Fair enough. Right, that Brucus is going to be a pest, I think. So we're going to just scooch closer. Just a little bit, though. Wait for it to pop out. Wait, are you turning around? Are you really turning around? Are you going to be that petty? Oh, my lord. It is. It is going to be that petty. Fine, we'll go this way. Wait for some Operarius to come up here. That will dig a hole through this area fairly easily for us. And then we'll have the Mr. Blue will almost certainly be able to take out the Columbra. Maybe I should actually start giving orders to take on the Columbra. It feels like we are at that point where that might make sense. More and more sense, in fact. Right, there we go. That railgun shot is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I think maybe having Mr. Blue focus on the... I wish I could give them primary and secondary targets. Because then instead of just nests and Columbra, or rather nests or Columbra, it would be Columbra and then nests. You'd always want to put the one that you're going to be shooting at the least in the priority position, in my opinion. because for most of the map that way you're going to be, I mean, I guess with things that don't move around and are as easy to kill as the Nest and the Columbra, it doesn't make as big of a difference. But in my opinion, having the thing you expect to be targetable less often as your primary target, so that you will maximize the time that you can shoot at it because you're going to be shooting at it less, or have less of an opportunity to shoot at it, makes more sense to me. All right, let's start marching forward, get our guns in range. There we go. Pop that nest. That's perfect. Let's just pop everything else, please, and thank you. There we go. And as soon... Okay, fine. You can, of course, stop it from shooting or rather stop being able to progress by pausing its aim right in front of you. But there we go. That's a nice, clean little engagement there, as all of them have been this episode. I must say, I'm relatively happy with the way things have been going. Now, I know I haven't rejigged the mechs, despite having gotten some pretty important research done. And for this last mission, I guess I could do that. I'm still getting to grips with how much time we spend doing the missions, but when I run more missions in a day. But all right, who are we going to send back? I believe that it was Digrig with the larger shield, was it not? So Mechs. No, I did not send Digrig. Oh, that's because I hadn't gotten the pilots out. Let me just quickly do that. Do apologize. There we go. Now, Digrig, head on back. I want to see. Where is your shield? Your shield is bonkers insane great. I approve. The only problem with the Digrig, the Digrig is perfect in every other way, is that we are going to struggle a little bit. With getting the Digrig, the Orc slot that we need. I'd have to give up one of these. On the surface, that's okay. Are those the same? They are. They are exactly the same, okay. I thought I had more of the higher tier ones, but we do not. Alright, so let's have a look. Where is this? Shield module. Plus 5% shield power. Shield now deals energy damage by its power. Plus 5% shield power. Alright, we can drop one C-RAM. Pop that on. Very nice. Let's have a look. My god. It's just creating a blink of intense heat around itself. This is amazing. I wish I could see damage numbers, because I have no idea how much damage this is doing. But okay. I greatly approve. For the loss of a C-RAM, I think we can accept that loss. Whatever other mech we set up as the kind of the buddy system of defense mechs, which will almost certainly either be named Drillbit or Drillium, we are going to want to make sure that they're all equipped more or less like this, that they've got ridiculous shields, the shields that do damage, and it's based on the shield power as well. And the shield power on this mech is absolutely insane. Imagine what it would be if we could have a fusion reactor rather than a fission reactor. Oh, I can't wait. All right, let's get this locked down. There we go. We'll see the Digrig's shield in action, but we can't bring Mr. Pink or the Marshmallow out to this next fight, so give me just a few moments to get all the pilots ready. All right then, we are ready to go. Mini Murgle will be leading the charge in the Nicola and will be targeting the Flagella, as will the Mr. Brown, I think, with their long-range rockets. That's fine. We're also going to be putting Frostfire on that duty. Finally, Mr. Blue is going to be targeting the Nest. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to have Shepherd and the Digrig in last. It's going to be a 6 mech deployment. A fairly straightforward map type. I don't anticipate too much trouble, but those are always famous last words. But it is time for us to get into the fight and get our second engine part, bringing us 2/3 of the way to completing the game. Remember, if you would like to see me do anything specific before we wrap things up, because honestly, it really does feel like we're just in, just racing down the straight now towards the finish line, do let me know in the comments. Tab T, cycle to the best camera mode. We've got a turret. We've got so many turrets. Forgot about that. All right, we are going to array the group down here. All save, of course. Dig rig. Dig rig, I want you to just duck out there as quickly as you can and then get back. Go, go, go. Ideally, you'll be able to do this before... Oh, dear. I just realized that. Too late. I did not shut everything else off. Get down here, dig rig. We need to repair your cockpit. Looks like Isham has already repaired their cockpit. Never mind. Isham doesn't afraid of anything. Not in the dig rig. The dig rig is... Look, okay, I know the BFGs are amazing. I know they are. And I know that certain mechs have achieved more in a short time. But I don't think that any other mech could really take MVP other than the dig rig so far. Maybe the Shepherd, maybe. But it is a big maybe there. Look at the dig rig shield. Dig rig is keeping everyone safe. And the BFGs are doing their best to try and not keep anyone safe. My God. Please repair everything. Let's just make sure everyone's okay. We've had a lot of issues with the BFGs today. My goodness. But I'm loving the look of that. I kind of want to just send the dig rig up towards it. The problem is we've got all these turrets that I need to deal with. But under normal operation, I would just want to see what the dig rig could do. I kind of want... Oh, no, there's turrets down there as well. I kind of just want to charge the dig rig up to something and just have it take them on. I would say single combat, but it's never single combat with operarias. Still, you know, this could easily be a point of, well, one human is worth 100 operarias. Well, I mean, you know, when they're equipped in a giant mech, I suppose, but still. Right, let's get up to this wall so that we can deal with this Brucus when it pops out, because it is about to. There we go. Very nicely done. Don't pull the turrets towards yourselves. Come on now. Don't be silly sausages. That one has decided that perhaps going the other way is the smarter move, and I can't fault its logic. Right. Getting down here, getting these nests actually won't be difficult because they're close enough to the wall that gradually we're just going to blow things up and then the explosions will take them out. But Mr. Blue and Shepherd will be able to really thin out those nests since they're targeting them so aggressively. There we go. This should be very nice and easy. And then we just need to wait for this Brucus to pop its head out so that we can finish it off. I'm really, really loving those shotgun blasts from the Mr. Blue. Really, really liking those. Now, it has been noted that right now we've got a CPU program that that performs better when the mech is hot, but I'm actually going out of my way to keep it cool. And that is okay for now. Underwater, there were already enough issues that I was dealing with that I didn't really want to take any risks. Though, in retrospect, I think I was significantly more cautious of the water than I needed to be. Certainly not with the mechs that we have. Let me just help them by aiming in the direction they're going to need to fire. However, we will be tweaking the setup for the mechs so that the ones that have CPU programs that run better hot will generally run their reactor closer to the red than not. That'll probably happen during the big reshuffle, which may or may not happen between this episode and the next. Speaking about next episode, it is coming up to that time, I'm afraid. But alright, let's go ahead and check out, of course, the most important one. Well done, Mini Murgle. Loyal as always. You get another medal. Another medal for following orders. Well done. Okay, well, with that, let's get all the pilots over here. Make sure that they are set up in the hospital and training as they need. I would very much like another clone very soon. Right, so fatality-wise... yeah, we took a couple of hits there. Maybe we shouldn't have. Right, Mini Murgle, you need to get some vitality, as do you, Bicklow. I can't ignore it anymore. As for CBS, though... Oh, Oak... is Rizel... Oh, my lord, we've got a lot of people ready. Well, Oak, since you're the first to get here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start training you up as a squad leader. Rizel well, maybe. If we're having the potential for launching three squads, we're going to need another defense operative. So I think Rizel can be another dig rig pilot or equivalent. Right, there we go then, Oak. There you are. Enjoy. Now, as for CBS, though, I don't think anyone really needs that. As for reactions, also not really needed there. Oak, then you can go into training. But let's go ahead and have a look. In fact, let's organize it like this. So, Vanya Loswin and Russell, both ready to go. Currently, they both have drone use, and so I see no reason, no compelling reason not to go with our typical setup of having them grab accuracy buffs. Yeah, I realize that, you know, this kind of plays into different sorts of play styles, but I really feel that for squad leaders, well, I mean, there are only 3 really, but I would say that prior to getting drones is like obviously lowest. Reloading is one of the better ones, and then movement comes in close second. But the second you have drones is probably moves up to B for me. Drones replaces speed. Reloading is still king because reloading has such a drastic effect on your reactor, and not overheating reduces the need for drones. But the drone skill makes such a difference, especially in the underwater maps where every fraction of a second that you haven't repaired the cockpit is a fraction of a second that they have less to breathe. But with that done, let's go ahead and check in on research. I don't think there's really anything new for me to do. Not down there, certainly. But we can now get the next type of engine. An efficient electric motor when accelerating well ahead of the internal combustion engine adds a new motor module. Is that one? Did we end up getting the top tier electric engine? We might have, because I'm not recognizing the looks here. But either way, this is the obvious choice for us, so let's go ahead and lock that down. Now, as for production, we've got a new reactor on the way, which means we now need to start producing the control rods for it. We're going to need 3 of these, which we're going to be able to get next turn. We'll be able to have those ready for the reactor with 1 extra day. We will have one of the red control rods ready, and then we'll just need 1 extra day after the reactor is done to get 2 more. So we may be seeing that in the next episode. Got to decide what else I'm going to do with this bay, though, by then. But I think that's more or less everything. All that remains now is a strategic move, and of course we're going to be heading over to dry land, where once again we're going to have to start worrying about temperature. I'm not going to lie. Well, the steady temperature of the ocean has been very nice to fight in. It's meant I've been able to... Oh, yeah, now we've got a third. It's meant that I've been able to... Oh, wow, hang on a second. How did that... Oh, man. There's probably a nest there then as well. When that one moved up, it triggered that nest. But we are going to have to do a very big swap out. So, you know what? Maybe episode after next. Because we're going to have one more... episode in the water, definitely. And then we're going to need to do an enormous reconfiguration simply because we're going back out of an extremely cool environment into a roasting hot one, because we're going to have to march up through the equator. So that's going to be a bit of a chore for us, certainly. But that is going to be it from me for today. I really do hope you have enjoyed and will be joining me for the next. As ever, I look forward to your comments down below, which I will now be able to read in real time. But until next time, and as always, do take care, engineers.